Welcome to this week's review of the Eye on Shoalhaven Council. The review is compiled by AI tools and is drawn from articles I posted over the week. When it refers to sources, it is talking about the articles I've written. Of course, I hope you got to read some, or all of them, but otherwise this summary will bring you up to speed, with the high or maybe low lights of the week. You will have to listen to an American accent, but this process saves me hours of work, so here we go.
You know, local government, it can feel a little bit dry, right? Full of council meetings and kind of mundane decisions. But when things go off the rails, the impact on a community is absolutely huge. Today, we're going to dive into a real-life case study from Shoalhaven, where deep political divisions have basically pushed the local council to its breaking point. And that really brings us to the big question we're exploring here. What actually happens when the trust between elected officials and the trust between those officials and the community they serve just completely evaporates?
Okay, let's get right into it. We're starting smack dab in the middle of a really high-stakes political showdown. We've got the mayor of Shoalhaven staring down a potential and very, very public rebuke from her own council.
At the very heart of this drama is something called a censure motion. So what is that? Well, according to the Local Government Act, it's a formal, official finding of misconduct. Now, it can't get a councillor fired, but it is a permanent and politically damaging stain on their record. It's pretty much one of the most serious steps a council can take against one of its own. It's a huge deal.
So you're probably wondering, how did the council even get to this point? Well, it all comes back to a single, deeply controversial decision.
And the source material really puts it perfectly. Appointing a new CEO, that's a massive responsibility for any council. It's supposed to be a moment of unity, right? Following a process that everyone can have confidence in. But in Shoalhaven, it turned into an absolute political flashpoint.
So here's what happened. The councillors were split right down the middle over appointing a former MP named Andrew Constance. So Mayor Patricia White used her special casting vote to break that tie and just push the appointment through. This move was so contentious, it actually triggered a formal investigation by the state's Office of Local Government.
But here's the thing. According to the sources we're looking at, this whole CEO appointment isn't just a one-off problem. Nope. It's seen as part of a much larger and, frankly, more troubling pattern of decision-making. Let's just walk through this timeline to see how it all unfolded. It really kicks off back in 2024 when the mayor's campaign launched featured Gareth Ward, who's a now convicted former MP. Fast forward to mid-2025, and her own political group starts to crack, with key allies signaling they weren't happy. And it all came to a head in late 2025 with that tie-breaking vote for the new CEO, which is what launched that formal investigation.
And this slide really captures the core tension here. Is the council all about factional loyalty? Always voting as a bloc, attacking your opponents, and hiding tricky decisions behind confidential sessions? Or is it about loyalty to the community? Voting based on evidence, having respectful debates, and actually explaining your decisions out in the open? That's the fundamental conflict.
Okay, so that's a whole lot of political drama. But why should residents really care about any of this? Well, let's connect the dots from what's happening in the council chamber to the everyday lives of people in the community. $954,000. Just let that number sink in for a second. According to a council report, that was the median house price in the town of Ulladulla. So while the council is totally consumed by this infighting, a very real housing crisis is making life completely unaffordable for local families.
And look, tackling housing is not simple. It's like a chain. It needs landowners, developers, the council, and the state government to all pull in the same direction. What the source material suggests is that when political dysfunction takes over, that changes brakes, and any real progress grinds to a halt. It's not just housing either. The reporting connects this political turmoil directly to failing infrastructure. Promises to fix the roads don't mean much when extreme weather hits, and a divided council can't seem to actually get the work done. And that leaves residents dodging potholes on cracked pavement. So if this is what dysfunction looks like, what's the alternative? Well, the sources also point a way forward. They outline what good local governance should actually look like. The sources lay out a pretty clear set of positive traits: transparency and how decisions are made, independence from just towing the party line, accountability when mistakes are made, respectful engagement with the community, and a real focus on delivering actual outcomes, not just looking good. This is the standard. And there is a potential solution on the horizon.
The state government is bringing in a new model meeting code for all councils in the state, and it's designed to force more business out into the open by banning those private backroom briefings and making councilors publicly justify their decisions. The goal is more transparency and more accountability. Ultimately, this whole story from Shoalhaven brings us to a question that applies everywhere. It's not just about one council or one mayor. It's about the standard of conduct, the level of integrity that we should all be able to expect from the people we elect to represent our communities.
So thank you for taking the time to read the articles and/or listen to the summary. Remember, as well as reading and getting informed yourself on issues, post to your friends and family and have discussion about what is going on in our local government. It is our city, and its future is in our hands if we elect skilled and honest councillors. This is Steve Prothero, so till next time, thank you for supporting the Eye on Shoalhaven Council.
Eye on the council, truth